want you guys to join me on this hectic but amazing shoot that we produced, shot and edited for a brand called SLEDGIA Organics right here in Ghana. Now trust me, there were a lot of moving parts, and so this production needed quite a number of things to function properly. Even though it's as elaborate as you will see in the BTS, it all started with a simple idea, a poem actually that the client sent to me. And so I read the poem over and over again, and then afterwards I began to flesh out a script that would eventually become this short video that you're about to see. Before we get into the details, just take a few minutes to watch the video and also let me know what you think in the comments down below.
Every hair has its own story. The crown on your head represents glory, signifying a legacy passed down from our forefathers, distinguishing one family bloodline from another. From tight coils to flowing waves, our hair reflects our heritage and the beautiful art of African kinky hair. My story brings me great nostalgia, taking me back to my mother's warm embrace. The scent of hair grease and oil fills the air while I sit between the warm legs of my mother, feeling her gentle hands as soft as cotton, massaging and grooming my roots with care. Understanding that healthy hair symbolizes strength, just like a warrior, I have grown in wisdom. Your hair is your glory. Together, we can embrace our roots, textures, and patterns. This is SLEDGIA Organics.
I remember this shoot day like it was yesterday, because this shoot had to happen amidst everything else that I was producing for clients, and that was because the launch date for SLEDGIA Organics could not be moved. Now this also meant that the time frame for me to create a storyboard, to find models, locations, makeup and styling, as well as clothes and accessories, all had to happen in a very, very short number of days.
You could switch roles with anyone on set, who would you pick?
Definitely white. Look at him. Point the camera at him. Definitely want to do what he's doing.
Wait, what are you doing today?
Nothing. He's just breathing. In summary, the video we had to create had to tell a story that empowers Africans to own their hair. Our hair is our crown, and we need to wear it proudly. Now, with the understanding of this core message, I began to look for a way to showcase this in the video. And so what I decided to do was to break the shots into a few parts. And so for me, the first part was just to create some establishing scenes, and then I knew that I would follow up with something about our heritage, add some nostalgic scenes, and then finally also add some empowered women who have embraced their hair. We also added a narration to help walk the audience through what's happening in the frame, and I also felt like this helped create a deeper connection with the audience. The plan on paper was for the models to be getting prepped already by 6 a.m.-ish so that we can start shooting around 8 a.m. at the latest. But unfortunately, that did not happen, as there was a cleanup exercise happening on the day that we chose to do the shoot and also at the location that we had chosen for the shoot. This means we could only start shooting from about 1 p.m. and that to me was just crazy, because for me a shoot that was supposed to be at least 8 hours long was now 4 hours, and that meant that we also didn't have time to be experimental on set anymore. We had to stick to the plan and we had to follow it to the T.
So this very set is more artistic, and I mean we have like more nude brown tones in here, and I love the styling also. It pretty much goes well with the set. The theme here has to do with the transitions from generation to generation. So from the mom to the daughter to the grandchildren. So let's see how it goes.
So for this campaign, I rigged up my Canon R5. I have a cage on my Canon R5, and this allows me to add things like a top and side handle, to put a monitor on top of the top handle, and also add a V-mount battery to power the camera, to power the monitor, and to power the transmitter all day. Now, I intentionally did this because I didn't have time to pause just to swap out batteries. Anything that I knew would waste my time, I decided to clamp shut. There were some scenes that we also chose to shoot with natural light, and there were also some of the indoor scenes that we chose to rather blend natural light that was coming in with a couple of LEDs and then just shape it to give us what we were looking for. We also used a wide range of diffusion materials or modifiers just to shape the lights exactly how we wanted. I also chose to rig up the camera because I knew I wanted to shoot handheld, and I knew that the weight was going to help me achieve the handheld shot with minimal shakes. And I chose to shoot this way also because I knew that I had to be very nimble. I knew that the camera was going to bounce between my hands, sticks, and a slider, and adding a gimbal was just going to complicate things and even slow me down, and that was something that I did not want to happen. Maybe probably freeze time, because I've never been on any set where we are able to shoot within the allotted time frame. So I will just make sure daylight lasts for 24 hours. I think that will be it. It's important to have a very easy way of communicating with the team when you're working on a project like this. Because trust me, you're always troubleshooting, you're always tweaking something, you're constantly needing feedback, and you can't be yelling across the set. That to me is just unprofessional. And so for this, we decided to use a Holyland solid chrome, and it lasted the entire day, and it actually surprised me. And so if there is a piece of equipment that will make your life easy on sets like these where you're working with quite a large number of people, I'll suggest that you try out this Holyland solid chrome. I was getting live feedback from Video Village, and I was also able to talk to the grip team, the producer and art director without yelling. Now, I'm choosing to put my camera equipment and the settings last because I feel like without proper planning or the initial planning or mood board or shot list that I created, these camera settings wouldn't matter. We knew what we wanted because we had planned, and it didn't really matter what gear I chose to shoot with. It's truly the story in this case that mattered. But for those who still want to know the camera settings, I shot everything in C-Log 3, and I also shot everything in 60 frames just to save time from switching between 24 and 60. I also had on my 2470 the Nisi ND filter, and I used that just to help me expose properly. I used my 2470 and I shot everything almost always at f2.8. Now, you can watch the video again. I'll put the links to everything that we used down below in the description, but just go ahead and let me know what you think about the video, and yeah, let's continue talking in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video, and remember, don't ever give up.
Every hair has its own story. The crown on your head represents glory, signifying a legacy passed down from our forefathers, distinguishing one family bloodline from another. From tight coils to flowing waves, our hair reflects our heritage and the beautiful art of African kinky hair. My story brings me great nostalgia, taking me back to my mother's warm embrace. The scent of hair grease and oil fills the air while I sit between the warm legs of my mother, feeling her gentle hands as soft as cotton, massaging and grooming my roots with care. Understanding that healthy hair symbolizes strength, just like a warrior, I have grown in wisdom. Your hair is your glory. Together, we can embrace our roots, textures, and patterns. This is SLEDGIA Organics.